destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed the traveler one night on the road, but there were some brave crusader knights nearby, and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. Oh my god! Up here, the same person can proudly say he's protecting the innocent from demons and then look the other way while the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Galfrey prolongs her life with sun orchid elixirs that cost enough to feed an entire city. Back in our caves, everyone is equally poor. Even if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of a tribe. The laws of the surface are made so that someone gets everything, the others get nothing. I might just be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible that some much more and share so much less. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much better than I do. um... Oh yeah, I have a few questions for our feckless aristocracy. I guess they'll have to wait until we drive off the demons back in the abyss and close the world wound. Lance smiles his strange half-smile, which breaks along the border between the two sides of his face. At the end of the day, the world is full of injustice, but it's also full of mad beasts ready to tear us to pieces. You said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What exactly did you mean? Invent a new salad and have it named after me, Lan remarks grimly, then he sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It would be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons. Then a few more demons, then more demons after that. Good, honest rage and no needless brooding. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. If life taught me anything, it's that there are no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the Crusades did that and also saved entire settlements. Erected the wardstones. Their actions kept the lands of Mended safe for decades. That's what I want. For my dumb, short life to have meant something. One wild solar orchid, sun orchid elixir is about 250k. I think they just added this item in second edition. In the newest book. Oh no, they didn't. It's in the world guide. I feel like I just read about it though. It's in Pathfinder second edition. It literally doesn't have a price. In second edition, it literally doesn't even have a price. That's how expensive it is. I think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself. Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the wardstones and flaunt Diomedes' banner. Any fool can charge at the front lines of the demonic armies and die there. What good will that do? I want something meaningful, you know? Even if I have to pay the highest price. Especially if I have to pay it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war and tell everyone else what a nutcases we were.
We do it my way.
Hey there! During the march through the dungeon, we never got a chance to exchange a proper greeting. It's time I shake your hand. I'd like to know more about you. Of course, ask anything. I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? A little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Eomade. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other. You've come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? A very long one. They looks at you cheerfully. A traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I only have 3 tales of any interest, and I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging. And that just won't do, especially since I'll win the night with my cautionary tale of battle with chupacabras. Yeah, you can't tempt me with that story about fighting chupacabras and then not follow through. What are chupacabras anyway? Incredible, repulsive magic beasts. Fast and dangerous. They can... Well, it looks like someone's fooled me into starting the tale. I guess now I have to tell the whole story. Picture a small town in Kudira, and down in the dungeon there's two murderers waiting to be executed. The gallows are already built for them, the roasting brought. But sometimes life takes a surprising turn. Suddenly a paladin of Aomade appears in the doorway and offers the murderers a deal. If they go with her to fight some monsters, they'll live. If they survive, that is. There's a big difference between imminent death and probable death, with a glimmer of hope, wouldn't you say? So here we are traveling through the desert, me and my friend, a priest of Sarenrae, along with a little ratfolk fellow who'd asked for our help, and two cutthroats. We get to the ratfolk village and see their bodies lying around, all drained dry. We figured we'd have to fight vampires. That's how the little ratfolk described the monsters who attacked their village. That's why we went in old brazen-like. The sun was high and the vampires couldn't attack until dusk. But we never got a chance to look around. Black shadows, quick as the wind, attacked us from all sides. Not vampires, but chupacabras. One of the lads we pulled from the gallows got killed right away. The second one ran for his life. That left me, the ratfolk, and Kira. Kira? That's the notable or whatever they're called, right? That was the name of the priestess, and we all steeled ourselves for the fight of our lives. And just when we thought the end had come, the chupacabras surrounded me like a pack of dogs around a bear. Our ratfolk friend wounded and down, and the teeth of the quickest of those blasted monsters clenched on Kira's shoulder. Right then, when all hope was lost, the other lad from the gallows suddenly comes running back. He kills the beast attacking Kira. I'm sure you know what a turning point in a fight looks like. Well, that was it. A moment before we were lost, and a moment later we had it back under control. The chupacabras dropped dead one by one. Little ratfolk is reunited with his family, who were hiding in the basement. The priestess, and I closed the eyes of the body from the gallows who saved us. It was a shame he didn't survive the fight. May the gods help his soul in its journey through the afterlife. Jesus. My throat's again so scratched from all the reading. The price just a transaction, you need to charter an entire embassy, staff in the nation to produce it, travel to Desert City there, and enter a raffle that includes most powerful people in the setting who will all backstab you to get the elixir. Makes sense? As a story, he could have died in disgrace on the gallows, but instead he died a hero. And I'd fancy the stunt earned him some points at his final judgment. It's smart to remember your journey doesn't end in death. Had it not been for that mercy, Milos, that was his name, would be hanged from a noose, and me, Kira, and all the ratfolk would be dead in the village. Someone told me that a kind deed done by an unkind person is 100 times more precious, but the same token, an evil done by a noble soul is 100 times more horrifying. That's what I really wanted to say. The chupacabras were just a good starting point. What made you become a paladin of Aomade? This gaze sharpens momentarily as she sighs. That's a serious question and a good one. You should ask it of your companions, but it's a long story. To start with, 12 years ago, I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Solku with the other homeless orphans. I stole, I fought, I was hired. Scored for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Solku was a city of orphans, widows, and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. My parents were among the victims. People here heard about the new deaths before they'd finished mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Aomade brought a glimmering hope up to the city, but while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses in the gleaming mithril armor, just wondering how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. And a thief lives one day at a time. That's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of the mithril helms. Killa pauses, her voice sad and measured, and I was right there when the gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Akemi was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll like all the others, she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Solku. That one blow was fatal, but who was really to blame for her death? Gnoll attacker or the young thief named Sela? Life's cruel and full of chaos. Sometimes survival just comes down to luck. That's how you see it. It looks at you with curiosity, but no hostility. I can't accept that point of view. If the story of my youth taught me anything, it's that we're all accountable for our actions. It's too easy to wave off responsibility if you use the cruelty of life as an excuse. But you were asking what brought me into the ranks of Iomede's warriors. We all chose the paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by nobility or spirit, some by desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and a debt unpaid. The day Akemi died, protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt, but then I realized it wouldn't make the world any better. And I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been, and protect the innocent that she would no longer be able to protect. Are the principles? What are the principles that the paladins of Eomene follow? I'll tell you. I'll recite our code. It feels like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There's a strength in these words. After a pause, she begins her voice slow and meditative. I will learn the weight of my sword. With my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not in my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betray my heart, I have died. I will have faith in the inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion, and I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle, and the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, though I will honor sacrifice freely given. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both though dead through thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may force my enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Iomede's perfection. Irrespet said your friend Jaina Aldor is missing. Do you know where we should look for her? Irrespet is worried about her fighters. I understand that. I wanted to look for Jaina myself, so I didn't distract you, but since you're in this too, I could use some help. Jaina and I met in Canabris a few days ago and just hit it off. We went drinking together, went to that unforgettable celebration together too, but we got separated in the crowd. She would start looking from the main square. That's where I last saw her. Jaina's a good fighter, and even if she is green, she couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. I hope that means she's alright. What do you think of what's going on in Canabris? It's complete chaos. It's lucky we're here to handle it, right? Jaina smiles brightly, then gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know it can seem a bit blasé. Many good people, and our protector, Terendlev, died here in Canabris. A paladin of Eomede is expected to be properly respectful and solemn. But I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon they'll use against you. It can undermine a warrior's spirit. It's better we hold off on grief until we've driven the last demons out of the cultists from the city. If we want to win, we can't be mourning our deceased day and night. Plus, joy heals the soul. It's nice when you and your commander think alike. Commander? Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming the hero of the 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen if they're lively ones. Sheila's eyes shine cheerfully. Anyway, to be more serious, the area around the World Wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is a reward enough for me, but there's something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the World Wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know. I've always liked being a wandering gnat, because any moment I could get up and go help a poor ratfolk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So there's my answer. I don't have some big important goal. but I'll be happy to help those who need it. A little bit here and there. Lord. Ratfolk, yeah. He has an affinity for ratfolk, apparently. A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely grey and shorn close to his head. In a military style, he is lean and well-groomed, and a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set in his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that there is a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I'm Hilo, venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendev. However, the Society is running almost no operations there right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of that old feud with the demon worshipper known as Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone, without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need a good fighter for an honest cause, talk to me. Tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It all began with the task for the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Nerosian with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Fellerin. We soon focused in on a small hospital for the wealthy, where Fellerin was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that the gang of Baphomet cultists calling themselves the Labyrinth of the Mind had gotten a foothold in the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from outside world, completely helpless, and when they returned they were different. Almost normal, but the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their minds, and they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate the elite circles in Mendev, but Baron Fellerin stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath, and too resistant to the spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened to clean the city of Baphomet's pit of vipers. There then was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds, steeped, is that what it's supposed to be? Into the world. They dreamt of horrible, forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground, and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter, Lori, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and snares. From the note I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Lori back at any cost. I want to know more about you. What exactly are you interested in? I'm a common Pathfinder. There are many others like me. Fate and my order brought me to this land. How did it end up here? I was working on an assignment for the Pathfinder Society, and then a demon worshipper named the Spinner of Nightmares abducted my daughter Lori. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to save her. During this time, I've become a specialist in scouting demon territory. I've even planted agents among the cultists. Truth be told, in pursuing the Spinner of Nightmares, I've been acting more on behalf of Queen Galfrey than the Pathfinder Society. It's a long story, maybe I'll tell you the rest sometime. Tell me about your daughter. Hilor smiles, showing his healthy white teeth. As a girl, Lori was just an angel. We lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example. I drifted with little idea how to talk to a 10-year-old girl. But even with such questionable parenting, Lori managed to grow into a wonderful girl. Brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She's always argued with me about everything. When Lori was 18 and told me she was going to be a Pathfinder, all I said was, alright. I knew there was no use trying to talk her out of it. And she was a fine Pathfinder. Hillo's fist clenches with a painful sounding crack. I'll never forgive the Spinner of Nightmares for taking my girl from me. Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. The Pathfinder Society is a global organization that unites opportunists and adventurers of all kinds. We explore the world and uncover its secrets, travel and sometimes face down threats. In times of trouble, the latter becomes our primary focus. We're driven by curiosity and the desire to make the world a better place. And of course, some seek profits or hunger for glory. But in any case, it's hard work. They might send you anywhere on a mission. Weaklings have little place in the society. It's more for seasoned fighters. The society lodges in many cities. The closest one is in Nerosian. They're each led by venture captains. Leads like me. The Grand Lodge is in Absalon, the center of the world. The the Decemvirate sits there, and the anonymous council of our leaders. I need brave and experienced fighters. I can rely. You can rely on my lads, but you'll have to pay them 4,500 standard rate. The amount is not acceptable. What the hell? Wait, training. My capacity, I need good training. I will get a great mentor from Absalom for the first few times. He'll train your fighters free of charge. Oh, respect. Yeah, it's respecting. And its success, how is the city? What is our main objective? You heard what the demon said? They were going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabris, but every city with the Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We cannot allow that to happen no matter what. We will retake it and destroy it if we must. Iomeda's gift must not become a weapon of the Abyss. Those Wardstones, what are they? They are our greatest treasure, but the shield given to us by Iomeda herself and placed in Canabris and other Medavian cities and fortresses by the Herald. The chain of the Wardstones forms a protective barrier that stops the expansion of the World Wound and keeps demons from moving beyond its border. I shudder to think what would happen if the barrier fails. Allow me a few personal questions. Please, I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Where are you from? I was born in Canabris. I grew up on a farm which beside it, but my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be where I've always belonged. How did you become a paladin? A bitter smile appears on the half-orc's face. I don't much like to remember it. Believe it or not, the story of how I became a paladin is also a story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders, made their souls stand together in Iomeda's celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. When my father was an orc, it would be best to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he, but still, all his life he was dodged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided anywhere but Canabris. That's where my father had served loyally, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters led by the honorable prelate Hulwyn stalked the city with a heavy hand. Who knows what they'd have done to a strange girl with green skin? Instead, I went to a smirk that looks more like a painful grimace across her face. You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose Lastwall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted into a country that's been battling the orcs of Belkson since its foundation. There were many there like me, but we were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than leper scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me the power of a paladin, but even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors where I realized the simple truth. I serve Iomede, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them, so I left. As a paladin, but not a knight. It's probably hard for you as a human to imagine what it's like. When the very color of your skin and the fangs on your mouth make people in the street turn on their heel to avoid you. I mean no offense, of course. How did you join the knightly order? I left Lashford and went traveling. The goddess guided me, and my path led me to where atrocities were happening. I often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the River Kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters and tracking down criminals. Sometimes I even thought it was wasting time, and my true place was in Canabris. But I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't want to think about going back, but in the end, divine providence has brought me to my senses. It happened in Timon. I was stalking a gang of bandits which my employer suspected was covering for Ramirez and spies. I managed to find their lair, but inside found something far more dangerous than spies, an unholy temple to Son Kuthon. When I broke in there, the cultists were about to sacrifice someone. The person was destined to become my wife, Anivia, but that's another story. After I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults that spread throughout Avistan, including Mendev. Worse, the documents clearly showed that their allies, the Temple of the Ivory Labyrinth, had infested my native Canabris, and were even among the ranks of the Paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount to this desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone, and Eve was eager to destroy the cultists as I was. Oh, these are Pathfinder cultists, gotcha. Anivia and I hurried to Canabrish, but we couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, Dafrook smiles warmly, she knew her way around working locks, hailing people and trading information in the city's bottom feeders. Soon be defeated. Soon be defeated. Alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of its head. You know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Can you imagine? While Prelate Holden was chasing witches throughout the city, and the enemies had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. The scandal reached the ears of the Queen. At first, she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but then she offered its command to me and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I was a knight, but I made commander just the same. I skipped the usual progression ranks. Oh, you passed. I can't imagine the followers of Kuthon in an alliance with demon worshippers. Shouldn't they hate each other? I should, but Baphomet's minions are masters of deception. They manipulated some Kuthon's butchers as eagerly as the Omnidish knights. The cultists from the unholy temple didn't know the true face of their associates in Canabris. We ourselves learned the truth much later, after getting to the bottom of their nest. How did the people of Canabris feel about your background? They tolerated surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so wary. Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced, as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come here to fight the demons. Apparently the people were only suspicious of full-blood orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems, though the locals do have their superstition. Mendev is as merciless as Last Wall, they just have a different set of victims. I kept seeing those same sideways looks and scowls, hearing the familiar whispers. But where once they used to whisper behind my back and point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. It's so strange to be the one on the other side of humiliation, to wipe the spit from your face, and suddenly be invited to change positions and spit at someone else. You must have figured out by now that I'm talking about tieflings. It's true that there are many of them among the cultists, and few among our crusaders, and our fighters do all they can to drive away those who would be our own allies. People shun them, call them Aurelus spawn or worse, as if they chose to be born like that. I believe it's quite a feat to race against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Still, most only see them as enemies. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in all my time in Canabris. And about Anivia? We met in Timon and I was wandering aimlessly from an ordeal to another. We returned to Canabris together to expose the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth. The day the Queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. The first was the day of our wedding. But Anivia isn't just my beloved, she's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. Thank you for saving her back then. The day Canabris fell before her return, the only thing giving me the strength to protect the defender's heart was the hope that I'd see her again, during her death. Oh god, there's more. Tell me about Eagle Watch. It was a small order created to fight not only demons but also the enemy within, to maintain the purity of the paladin ranks, prevent heresy and identify spies, and it failed miserably at that. The Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth infiltrated and formed their nest within its ranks. After the Queen entrusted me with leading the order, Anivia and I practically built it from scratch. We got rid of deadweight, people who weren't committed, we organized ways to transmit messages and orders safely, we organized reliable ciphers, we found tactile allies around the city, from crusaders' orders to street beggars. This was my personal crusade, to purge the city of the Templars who had infested it, and I thought I was winning. I could feel it. We were so close to driving the cultists out of Canabris, but Herod frowns. It's hard to admit, but those successes didn't count for much once the demons entered the city. And I went asking for lore dump and getting lore dump, yeah. I mean, it's just so much stuff, dude. And it's all piled together in this one area, because it's like the hub, I guess. I would spread it out, it's just I don't know when I can go back here, if I can go back here, or if there are the same stuff to say, so... Oh, we're almost on though, I think. I think there's probably gonna be like 4 people outside or something. Spread it. What's up, Motus? What the hell is that thing? What is that thing? I spread it. On the contrary, if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a headquarters at the Defender's Heart. The cultists would have served up the city on a platter to the demons. Yes, that's true. It's a good thing we achieved something. I have to go. Mr. must be bugged. What the hell, Sergeant? You are a sick little boy. Okay, we'll read this about the venture captain healer later. Oh, it's about the Spinner of Nightmares. Okay, we'll read it now. The Spinner of Nightmares let out a fiendish laugh, and the wind rose up, sending the sound rippling across the roofs of the cavernous temple and off into the darkening sky. You cannot protect them! The demon worshippers performed a gracious pirouette, as though she were mocking the ungainly venture captain, who was slowly picking his way across the slippery roof tiles. You may have saved Anticulus today, but you won't save everyone who gets in my way. You will always be one step ahead. I will always be one step ahead, plunging a dagger into the heart of the next fool, and sully your path with blood that you will never be able to wipe clean. Killer lost his footing once, and only by miracle did he not plummet to his death. His heart threatened to beat right out of his chest, but his mind was consumed with the feverish awareness of how close he was to his target. Only a few dozen paces separated him from the Spinner of Nightmares. Close enough to shoot, but the venture captain wanted to be sure the bolt wouldn't kill her, merely maim and immobilize her. The hand crossbow that healer concealed under the folds of his cloak was throwing off his balance. Oh, because his first decision, if she returns to her realm, she gets reborn again. The Spinner of Nightmares froze as if considering the captain's words before lunging forwards like a snake and spitting with contempt. You will never see her again! Click twang, the whistle of the bolt released from the cradle and switching off the Spinner of Nightmares cloak as she dodged the shot. Laughing, Killer let out a bellow, pouring all of his hatred and despair into the shout. Dashed forward and slipped on the roof, tumbling to his knees, gripping a jagged roof tile with his last remaining strength. And venture captain swallowed a grunt of pain and raised his head, only to watch his daughter's abductor be swept away on a black wind. I will find you, the spinner of webs. Killer's shout seemed to carry far and wide across the whole of Mendev. I'll find you and tear out your duplicitous heart. This was published by the Pathfinder. He's standing right here. What's up, Motus? Oh. Hey, Lord Pathfinder. They publish a book about him while he's standing right there. Jesus Christ. Oh no, I forgot about the basement. I had a stomach flu last night, but staying home, feeling better now. Nice. My hips are moving on their own. At least your nips aren't moving on their own. Render thy soul, Delvin. Ayomade, protect us. Got you again. How many times is that today? You can jokes and shove him, thiefling. Woolgif? Loot.
Follow if you dare.
Lever. Loot. What does lever do? There's one here. Man, I want to make breakfast. I just want to finish reading first. Oh, there's a... Button won't bulge. This machine...
I'm off.
So we tried both of them down, we try... Oh, there's another level right there.
I do what I must.
Okay, all down. Oh, yeah. Oh, that do. I'll remove this room. Is it the queen, or who the hell is that supposed to be? You ever see the item helmet that no one in party was able to identify? To learn property match item, once blah blah blah. Because it's full, you remain if it's held in you. Vendor, okay. How do I identify myself vendor?
I'm gone.
But I can also just put it on, right? I can just be like, hey, let's see what this does. It's Elements of Charisma. Okay, we got a yellowed letter. Half a century ago, our parents fled their homeland of Sarkoris, terrified of the invading demons. They were certain that the war would soon be over, so they didn't go too far and found their refuge here in Canabris. Used what little savings they had to build a tavern where any crusader could get a bowl of soup and a good night's rest in exchange for some money and news about the recent victories. The city looked completely different back then. It was a triumphant city full of hope, inspiring songs, and brave paladins in shining armor. We praised Our Lady Pulura openly and hoped that the lands of our ancestors would be ours again in no time. Things have changed since then, though. Our parents have left the goddess's halls, Dresden is long gone, the whirlwind grows deeper every day, and the Crusaders seem to take more interest in fighting each other and us folks than in eradicating demons. Oren has gone mad and now puts all his inquisitive zeal into burning witches. Today Canabris is a city of fear and suspicion. We had to hide our altar of the Shimmering Maiden in the basement so they wouldn't accuse us of demon worshipping. Queen Galray has recently appointed Holren as prelate of Canabris. Now nothing will stop this murderer from taking complete control of the city into his hands and serving his so-called justice on everyone. His previous acts of violence were just the beginning of a full-scale massacre. We have to flee. Run like our parents did. This time not from demons, but from the Crusaders. Soon we will sell our tavern and leave anywhere away from the agony of this endless war. May Ulura protect the city from whatever comes next. 4682, so that was like 40 years ago or so. Oh yeah, that's true. I am a charisma monk. You're right. That give me more AC. I forgot about that. I forgot that I'm the charisma monk. That increases my chance to hit as well. Oh. All right, Woljif, are you a companion?
Hey, Chief.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Young Tiefling sits cross-legged on the floor. He looks relatively confident, someone in shackles, but his tail whips back and forth in agitation. Losing your attention, the Tiefling sits up and beckons you over.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out!
Woljif?
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif Jeffdo. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What is this guy like us?
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy Woljif locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. Got that? Will you do it?
Alright, I'll talk to Erebet about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
We do it my way.
Balrog, or as you call him, a vivisectionist who started with a few rogue levels. I'm not grabbing vivisectionist on anyone. I refuse. Oh my god! Are you mad? Whatever possessed you to steal the gem golem from the Tower of Estrad Museum? We didn't steal nothing, Commander. We saw some looters dragging it down the street and we captured it. A shiny fellow belongs to the treasury. Inlay alone is worth more than the castle. Should no one lay so much as a finger on this golem. Speaking of us, fine if you go all for it, dipping a slime. Yeah, I agree. We sent a glittering golem and crossed it with gems and covering it into it. Flower and Broad happy to be of service. May Shailene brighten your and vivify your day. What are you? I am Prestidigipainter Golem. Many millennia ago, I was built by Aslanti clerics of Shailene, the goddess of beauty, to make world a better place. In my joyful service, I have visited many lands, and for past centuries, I have resided at Temple of Sunrise, Chrysanthemums in Tianxia. But then the good clerics offered to offer me as gift to Mendev Crusaders that you could share in the beauty I can create. Can you do anything useful? My creators granted me ability to place illusions on various items. I can change their color and texture to make them more beautiful and appealing to the eye. Would you like me to cast an illusion over your armor to make it green? Green is a very pleasant color and it would match your eyes. How did you end up here? I was in the Tower of Estrad Museum, and some not beautiful people came and started smashing everything. I asked them to show restraint, and that's when they decided to steal me. After all, I am beautiful and very valuable. They dragged me down the street, but I didn't want to go with them, so I kept stopping. The least beautiful of my kidnappers threw me over his shoulder. What? Tried to run away with me, but I'm very heavy, so his back made me a very not beautiful crunching sound. He started yelling, and everyone else started yelling, and so the yelling was directed at me. Then they started hitting me with their not beautiful weapons, and some good crusaders stole them away. And now I've been lumbered with you. Waste of good metal you are, and instead of working, I'm supposed to keep an eye on you, so no one is tempted by the walking treasure trove. Transmog Golem. Maybe the same, but I don't mind a good old multi-class fighter, thief or similar. I don't think dipping is lame generally. I think like grabbing sections to every character is lame because that's like just broken. What can you do to what can you do to help the war effort? I was not designated for any type of combat, yet I can bring beauty and harmony to type of combat. I want you to cast an illusion on my gear. Oh, okay. I thought this was like a giant fighting robot. A grizzled dwarf turns a blade in the cow's hands, carefully inspecting the edge. When he sees you approaching, he sets the blade aside and greets you with a nod. A new face in the city. You pick a good time to come to Canabras, as you can see. We're in sore need of warriors. Do you know everyone in Canabras by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make it my business to know the people who might need my service. A blacksmith's work isn't just an anvil, you know. Are you Starton Wayne's brother? Yep, where he goes, I go. That's how we've always done it, even before the world wound. I forge the armor, he goes into battle and breaks it. He brings it back to me and I repair it and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course, but that part stays the same. I was starting to blame for the fall of Dresden. I've told this story so many times already, well, thinking that one more time won't kill me. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like the victory was ours for the taking, but that the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of the old Sarkoris was thoroughly diminished, and many of them hoped to see their hard fighters repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden was a fortress built on our hopes and on Mendel's ambitions. We're not supposed to say that out loud. What a city it was, Kiryu. You can't even imagine. It was built by the first engineers from the Five King Mountains. Queen Galfrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and beacon of hope for old Golarion. Heroes were drawn to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Taldor, Garun, Tianxia. I could list them all. A relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there. The banner had been carried into battle by Yomini herself, back when she was still human. The banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside the walls. As long as the banner was in place, Dresden was invincible, so we thought. Other dogs and a horse is a crane dancing monkey. Oh, you dip into crane stance monk for some reason. Up in a party with 3 crane stance havers. Oh my god, that sounds so annoying. But then the world wound suddenly expanded. The demons launched a new onslaught and folk started saying it was time to declare the Second Crusade. Dresden was unassailable until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. He convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, that its rightful place was on the battlefield. He whispered honeyed words about glory and valor and convinced him that he should be the hero as great as Naomi herself, and that the poor fool believed her. He rounded up some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside the city gates on an unauthorized foray. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. The whole army teleported to Dresden. It was a bloodbath. As you can guess, the officer was called Stoughton Wayne, and the woman turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, it was Minago, the foul wretched. She has given us a lot of grief and in Canabras too. She doesn't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having trust with that beast, and why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. Demon gestures as if to ward off the inevitable response. Who could have guessed it would end like this? I failed my brother, and that's the truth. I blame myself every day, looking at his plight. Ah, okay. I thought he was like... I thought he actually made a deal with the devil and like betrayed the city, but he just got fooled. Take Crazy feats, which kind of gets silly when the animal companions are doing it as well. What the hell? When uninhitable by enemies, people attack our backline instead. That sounds fun. All animal companion party, it was fun that moving was free, especially how mobile casters are with that. Oh, because you would ride the companions eventually. Or do you have a forge here in the tavern yard? Wherever I am, that's where my forge is. The true master of any anvil will always find tools they need. Miss my old forge, of course. It's just a pile of charred stone and metal. I've got my hands, and that's what means I can work. Sure, Inishura. Do you recognize the sword? Do I recognize this? Of course I do. I made this with my own hands. That's my brand, see? The dwarf carefully takes the sword. Oh, Jesus! There's a tick on her eyebrow. Hello, Alpha. There's a tick on your eyebrow. like ticks here. Oh god. Logan! Logan! Hi! Vänta! Ah!
Well, I mean, yeah, it looks like it's coming to a close at 111 by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Please don't let
And-
it be over.
This was insane.
This was insane.
We could always
I'll
try again.
never forget this day.
There's so much to everyone. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. We've almost gained. It'll tell us how many subs it's been at the end of this, but hype train success. There you go.
Oh,
We did it.
oh.
How many
We did it,
subs
chat.
did we end up?
Oh my god. Oh. Ow.
Use riding before combat. Movements still have full action for casting. Min-maxers, are there any dips to get animal companion early for memes? So hey? Has to be the most overloaded thing possible. What is Sohei? How level progression for animal companions works with Sohei dip? Do you get levels on companions when you level up? No Sohei. Sohei. You'd have animal companion class feature for that. Oh yeah, Neil. Things have been tough without you, but at least you've still got your sword. That's something. Turn returns sword to you. In battle, ordinary swords get blunted, they break, but sometimes a weapon can persevere. I don't know how to explain it. I'm no authority on these things, but something like an echo of the deeds done with that weapon, or more like the reflection of the wielder's soul. I don't know. I will say one thing: take care of the sword. Yaniel may no longer be with us, but the demons still remember why they need to turn tail and run when they see radiance. Ugh, the scabbard's all worn. We can't be having a fine sword like this being carried around in this tatty thing. I'll make you a new one if you like. If the city stands strong and we both survive, come see me again and I'll have it ready. No charge. Animal companion patches that up to 4 levels, but if you get animal companion later, will you level up normally at that? Like a paladin from Wrath, they level up. They leveled up. Smasher, Detainer, Living Ram, Merry-Go-Round, okay, so this is my price range right here, Tridents. Well, she's gonna be using Radiance, I guess. So we have a Cold Iron Rapier. Oh, I forgot to Give him his bow back. Oh, we haven't been at him, that's why. A rugged helmet. Oh, here we go. I'll get a couple of these. Let's buy all of them. I'll get 2 more. Whoops, I meant to buy all of them. Okay, is it almost breakfast time?
Follow if you dare.
Druid for Lan, Vivi for Camellia, Sohe for Sela. Getting animal domain for Cleric is one of the most ridiculous things since they get fully leveled mount. Are you at least playing on the hardest difficulty with your broken builds into it, or are you just abusing the poor demons on easy mode?
I'm off.
I'm off. I guess I can just level them up in here, huh? Okay, seems like I've talked with everyone. Probably. Getting nature mystery on Oracle for same effect.
I do what I must.
I do what I must because I can. How do they deal with with your mounts? Do the enemies prefer to target your mounts? Do they target you? How does that work? It has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from the corruption of the abyss. Okay, I think I've spoken to everyone now. I didn't loot something over here somewhere. Over here? Just mythic stuff so we get extra the mystery. You don't want to dip with caster. They prefer mount, okay. Just like oh no, I haven't took the airbud again. I think I'm gonna go put my food in before I do that. Because at least that seems to be voiced. Possibly. Pink eye. Oh my god, he was hiding. Just listen to this woman. Isn't it amazing how much nonsense one can fit in such a small package? That's what I think about women too. Wait. Indara? Oh my god. An imposing young Odred is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging out on her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Gistka legionaries from the last war and crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine, not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now tell me again, why am I supposed to be impressed by your reckless assault, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? So the Crusaders grumble unhappily, but it's clear that they are captivated by women's words. The only exception is the scraggly and disheveled halfling monk, whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage. One of his friends swiftly jabs in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. Try to listen to the discussion. One of the Crusaders angrily curls his fist, tightly retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours or whatever had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back, and I'll have you know, these fortifications were defended by Jiskin priests, craftsmen, armed with demon-bound war machines. Did this order people live for a really long time? They used the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes to with pointless nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happened to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at the flash and amused smiles. Lecture's over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Indara, a warrior magus and scholar of classified warfare from Garund. The woman peers at you apprehensively, then sighs. I admit I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I am willing to accept this as due to Avicent's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. Actually, you've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Golarion, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence, and the crusaders from every continent united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. The monk with the pink eye grins and mutters under his breath, Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. The woman smirks contemptuously. She doesn't deem the monk's words worthy of comment. It looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh? I am hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is sufficient open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? No. I am a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal who does not participate in conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jiska. The monk with the damaged eye grins and slyly comments, The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever, pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. What is this last war you mentioned? The last war of Jiska, of course. A large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against Osirian, pharaoh of forgotten plagues. The war that ended the legendary Jiska Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I'm witnessing here. She should have been a goddamn android. That would have been fitting. Why do you find the last war of Jiska so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds, like terrifying monstrous birds of prey, to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in a warpath of walking citadels or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jiska, the deadly Night Plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its masters wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight or fancy can even come close to the horrors of the nightmares that they made real. How do you know so much about the Jiska last war? I can say without false modesty that there is no more authoritative research on Golarion when it comes to a history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to this subject. I personally visited all battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an Exterminators-class combat golem that guarded the Jiska laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jiska Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I'm telling you about. You're wrong to treat the Crusaders such disdain. Allow me to explain. A debate? I will happily prove that your current conflict can't hold a candle to the last war of Jiska. Very well. The last war of Jiska was waged using a significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Okay, I have a decent chance of this. Compared to the Jiska, we are but some stone club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of his statements, but here it is nevertheless. A gadfly sees the ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but crimson fever takes them both. Attack! The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but fate of the world is being decided here now. That is what you failed to grasp. If this is anything like Elder Rolls, I will fail this somehow. Oh, nice. The earnestness of one's faces of those around you has taken away Idara's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stubble her words. Of course, I am not trying to diminish the importance of the current events. What I'm trying to say is that from the standpoint of history, in particular history of warfare, keep all silent, fixedly staring at the unfriendly eyes of her audience. True importance of these developments won't be obvious until later. Indara offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline, rooted in fact and evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the further the descripted period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith the way the Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimorak by adding a dozen Baylors, for example, I would win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I am forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. Have you changed your mind about joining the Crusaders? I don't see the point. The Crusaders appear to be quite confident in your skills. If nothing else, you've presented your argument to me with extreme confidence. Indara unboxes the sword, belt, and answers the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also the wise. And this is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It's about time I go back to my research. The hint of a smile graced Indara's lips when she sees disappointment in the eyes of the many crusaders around you. Stay safe. I should have attacked her and killed her. I should have frickin' murdered her while I had the chance, man. Why don't I do this? Oh, it's a flaming short sword. Huh. I don't know if anyone here gets value out of that, but worth a lot of money too. Okay, Ron, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna quickly go make some breakfast, and then we'll continue the game. I'll do a hard save. Been a while. Man, we have literally spent like 2 hours just reading dialogue, huh? Very. They tried to fight Joshua, then Joshua just beat them up. And Joshua said, "You why not?" There's a doggo. Oh, it's a doggo. He looks very excited to be part of this stream right now. Whoa! What is this? That's not legal. The idea with these people are these are people that like were here before. What the? you doing? Oh! Oh, king of the castle, king of the castle. Oh, go do this, go do that.
Really sorry about your ass.
It's all good, bro.
It's kind of weird when you call me that.
Why are you doing this?
Because I hate women. Oh no. What is that asshole doing? Sir? What the? What the? Ah! 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 Oh no. What is that asshole doing? Sir? What the? What the? Ah! 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 Of all of us, except the ones who are dead.
So be it.
The cycle continues.
Oh no, what have I done? You wanted FRP, didn't you? Or FRP, I guess I should say. Be honest with me. Massive coming all the way off the stream. I might have. That's what messed me up, dude. Oh, dude, that one really got me. He wasn't there before, I don't
This will
think.
put a smile back on your face, my dear.
Sorry?
Oh my god! Fuck you!
No sense of order.
She's one of them. There must be an overlap here somewhere.
I'm so mad right now. Huh? Whoa, that's Kawakami, isn't it? What's she doing here? Oh crap, she's coming this way.
Jeez.
I don't know what you want. No, I'll listen to it. I'll warn you if you watch it, okay? But there's another video between that and us, so probably on Thursday, maybe. Two boys at the fishing pond on a Sunday, huh? What are you sitting around like old men? Why don't you go out and do something more exciting? Look who's talking! Sigh, sigh. Adults need time to themselves to unwind and clear their thoughts. You'll understand soon enough when you start working in the real world. Wow, son is real old there, Kawakami. That's Miss Kawakami to you?
For real?
Holy crap, Kawakami could be our master fisher in the line. She's hooking fish like crazy. It's easy, just clear your mind and free yourself from negative thoughts. Well, the trick is not to think. We'll go there Wednesday time, but we probably won't. Huh? 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 Yeah, that's right, bitch. I think Asian people are normal. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Hey, you. Nah, you're a mad kid. Stay mad. I was two-handing my weapon. You must kill all of them. Oh, it's a 50-50. Saviors. Don't do it. Don't do it. Shower me. I don't. What am I supposed to do there? We got 64 meters.
Answer the call of the
What? Wait, what?
Wait, I gotta do it to the other side. Wait, this side? A nose for music. Hello again. Hang on again. Oh, I can't even carry a tune with my nose stuffed up like this. Do you have a cold or something? Fuck. No, I'm fine. Logan, dude. Who's that character?
Kiryu-san?
Yeah. What's up, Bob?
Kiryu-sama?
I have. I'm fine. I don't know how many times this is gonna happen, but it's funny every time. God bless.
Thank you for watching. You've grown so much, Sumire. I'm sure this is no surprise to you, but the path to international success will be harsh and relentless. Are you ready?
That guy's an actual psychopath. I guess that's what happens when you play Persona 5 Royale. I should probably have leveled up before I did all these skill checks, huh? Now I think about it. But eating food, good time to level up. I think I'm gonna do a little dip into Witch. Do a Witch of the Whale dip maybe. Do we? I think we just grab outflank on these guys too, huh? But on carry we have a list of stuff that I thought was cool. So let's see, Wrath of the Righteous, Blind Fight Power Attack, Curmudgeon Smash. So we can actually grab here. On a Monday, it's Tuesday. I forgot what the plan was. In prowess. Intimidating prowess. But does this count in, like, in checks too? I know this is just like a combat thing. Not sure, okay. I had some plan for how to, like, demoralize everyone, but I forgot how. Improved, hammer the gap, outflank, shatter defenses. Oh, is it shatter defenses? Oh yeah, here we go. Crouch and smash. I think it was crouch and smash and shatter defenses. Smash. Okay. KO for demoralize, yeah. So, we already picked power attack. We have weapon focus, right? Or don't I? Oh, it doesn't want me to pick weapon focus. That's interesting. Wait, can I not weapon focus unarmed? Oh yeah, okay, okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I was like, we have that. We have weapon focus. I've improved the initiatives. We can remove that from the list I have here. So I feel like outflank could be a good call. Oh, I don't have the practice. We can't get that yet. I mean, I think I could do two. Is we could grab skill focus and put it in persuasion. Just to like get the bonus for it, you know, like a +3 would be pretty nice, and I've already failed some checks, so I don't hate that. Combat reflexes would be pretty nice, I think. I think I'll go for skill focus. It just feels like it's nice to have that +3. If you ever come across a hard check, I'll go for this. Skill focus is an awful, especially if you want to succeed. It's +6 bonus unit. Yeah. Ooh, hold up a second. Dragon heritage. I mean, I think we're just going gold, right? I think we're just going gold dragon. Curious dragon tattoo is a gold, isn't it? So, from a power game perspective, fire is probably the weakest thing I can have against demons, right? Well, they're actually immune to electricity usually, aren't they? So maybe not the weakest, but I feel like Silver Dragon, from a thematic perspective, could fit Kira as well, but I think I'm gonna go Gold Dragon. You can overcome resistance with Mythic Bones later. It appears a white, grey, black, and red Yinglong, or Uryup Grasping Pearl. Oh. Dragons and Oriental Dragons is not... well, yeah, but I'm saying it's like golden color is what I'm saying. I know that it doesn't represent... Kiryu Tattoo. Oh, maybe it doesn't. I just remember it being a bit golden, but I guess it just has some golden details on it. It's golden red, right? Golden red details. I think I'm gonna go gold. I think silver, personality-wise, could make sense, but I like gold. I like just being super generic main character. Get this at level 15? Jesus Christ. Bronze? Oh, Bronze Dragon? Do you think bronze would be cooler? Can someone remind me, did Rapid Shot stack? It doesn't, right? That was the whole deal? Yeah, that's why it's there. Yeah, makes sense. No, the norm option, Jesus. But give me lightning, but lightning is worse for me though, because demons are immune to lightning, while they only have resistance to fire, right? Also, yeah, on that paper. Men. Bueno. Mystery the 30, yeah. I also assume that they would be immune to fire, but then I tried electric arc at them and then they were immune, so I was like, oh yeah, true. I forgot. Franket. Franket lå igjen. Det er litt med Bella. Bella. Ja, Bella. Vær så god, Lagen. Thank you. Also, I feel like gold would be a very Kiryu dragon. Very honorable. I had a barbarian dragon disciple lady who wanted to be a Lindorm king, but ended up becoming a Lindorm instead. What the hell? Well, she better not travel to the land of the Lindorm kings. Our bag was full of dog traits right now, and I don't even have a dog. Pet the dog. Why do you have dog treats? What the dog doing? Nej. Nej, det blir bra. On a Monday, it's a Tuesday. Hello again? So close? Come on. Come on. Step up. Yep. Not going right. Let's look out the window. Yeah. Yes, we all have weird earnings from time to time. Yeah. My friend was supposed to bring his fat bulldog into my work, but never did. That son of a bitch. Now I'm stuck with chicken jerky and peanut butter sticks. Damn. Big bulldogs who slobber all over the floor while looking like hairy frogs at best. Well, hey, Jace, if you want to come to Norway and give treats to the dogs here, I'm 100% up for that, okay? On a Monday, it's a Tuesday. Du är från Genta. Although she scratches my hand when I stop. With them, they'd be binned by customs. Probably. That's possible. I didn't say Melden, I said you should come and give the treats to the dogs. Nej, du är söt. Tänker inte. We go for Christmas, who knows? The Norwegian government would allow Jace in after what happened. They made being barefoot in public illegal, yeah. I don't know why Jace thought it was so appropriate to run up to someone and say, "Nice feet you got there, little boy." Ugh. Milk. Record, I find barefoot people in public nasty. Yeah, me too. I also find nude women in public nasty. Ugh. I hate when that happens. Ugh. Oh man, ugh. Ugh. Oh, it makes me sick just thinking about those nude women in public. Wait, what is this? I just get point blank master? Oh. Longbow. Don't say nude women. What's up, Julius? Nice footsie tootsies. Are you still holding Christmas Sodakin for me? I have I have a feeling Christmas Sodakin might have gotten thrown out, but I'm not sure. It was like 5 years out of date. I think it was slightly more, but yeah. Like women's gay. You know what my favorite part about women is? Their great talent and their independence. What I do are that they like weapon focus. Actually, she use strength or his dex? So I want the piranha strike. I think probably right. I want this. Oh, if I'm gonna know the weapon that can be used with the weapon finesse. Does she have weapon finesse? Is that what this is? Wait, Kyria's prepared treat affliction? Ah. She'll get focus. Weapon focus? Is that what you mean? She'll get? The bonus times are halved if you're making an attack with the offhand weapon. When your base attack is 4, fair. So yeah, let's grab Piranha Strike, I guess. I spent the last 2 hours riding home in an Alphard. My body has never experienced such luxury. What the hell is an Alphard? So big I could recline flat and take a nap. On an El Grande. Piranha strike. Piranha. After level paladins meet to fair, each willing ally, only able paladins is conscious. Oh, that's nice. Merci beaucoup. Oui, oui. Did I think I should have put a point here. I don't know why I put it in perception. She's not good at perception. I think I'll put it here because, I mean, no one can really do nature that well, so... Oh my god, Arcana. Oh, mobility. Alright, we were doing mobility. I forgot about that. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Oh, and I have one more point. Someone else is gonna pick up Arcana for sure. There's one will pick up nature too, but I'll just spread the love for now. Okay, well, oh god, there's a freaking dog here on my freaking ham. She's gonna be using that sword, I assume. The long, it's a long sword, right? Sword that is long. But she doesn't have power attack yet, so should I just give her power attack? I'm thinking power attack for now. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. S'il vous plaît, merci beaucoup. Oh, oui, oui. I should be fine now. That target is no longer fatigued, shaken, or sickened. Ooh. You suffer found a feat named improved critical improved. Normally still get those wacky trickster feats. Most useful for battle, I feel like would probably be sickened. Most useful for just like general play, probably fatigued. Because with fatigued, I can use it in combat and just remove fatigue from people. And I feel like I'm probably gonna be fatigued way more than anything else. If this is anything like the other games, I'm gonna be fatigued 24/7 is my feeling. Study mythic rank and not level. I'm gonna grab fatigue. For now. We can always respec later if I feel like it is not working out for me. Alright. Please be voiced. Tell about the thiefling. As the thiefling chained up in the defender's heart, what can you tell me about him? Ah! Wolfgif is a pretty is a pretty thief from a gang of tieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. Oh, spells. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, his name is literally Wolfgif. We have nowhere else to keep him from apart from Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Wolfgif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free, or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Irabeth squints at you thoughtfully and shrugs. If you want to recruit Wolfgif and put him to use, go ahead and take him off our guard's hands. We can ill afford to let our soldiers spend their days watching over a middling thief. If the thief proves useful, did you take him along? Spells. Oh, level 2 spells. Oh, I don't need this bless right now because I'm. Well, maybe because of the level. But do the wands also act up level? Now I think about it. I got a bunch of these wands of bless right here. Yeah, still level, so. Man, it's so cold right now. Holy crap. It feels like there's so much wind, it feels like a fan is blowing on me from the side. Because of the draft from downstairs. Let me put my socks back on. It actually, unironically feels like there's a fan blowing at me because the wind is coming in constantly. Hva er det du skal lage? Skal du ta på meg sokker? Hva da? Hva er det? Hva er det? Vi skal ut om times tid. Men for nå så må vi bare slappe av, ok? I mean, Restoration Lesser is always a good one to have, right? It seems pretty good too. I'm gonna grab Restoration now. Bark skin? Oh. Barf skin? The direction of barking is pretty insane. It's not fair about that. 10 minutes blah, that's pretty good.
I'm gone.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to her about it, and I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
This tiefling will have sex with you.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can ya? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that Big Sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following?
As a teenager, not... Oh.
Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go, I'll show you the way.
Well, actually, Lorette, my character is also underage, so checkmate. And that means that whoever I romance in this game, if they're overage, they are the pervert. Now I'm gonna have a 600-year conversation with that guy too. I see. Do you see? Where did that little boy go? See him there, but I don't see... Oh, there. I want to know more about you. How much is more? Are your family thieflings too? My family? It's an interesting story actually, but I don't tell it to just anyone. My father and mother had a bakery. Their life was great, but the gods never blessed them with any children. One day my mother went to the river to wash some clothes and saw a basket floating downstream. Inside the basket was a baby, adorable and chubby and fast asleep. It was yours truly. In my hand was a note spritzed with expensive perfume that said, "Take care of my little angel." My mother brought me home, and she and my father realized right away that I was heaven sent. They raised me as their own. When I turned 15, my mother showed me my baby blanket. It was embroidered with the coat of arms of an unknown kingdom, all in golden thread. Ever since then, I've been looking for my real parents. But it's not easy traveling. Traveling takes money. So if you have a few gold coins, I'll pay you back as soon as I find my real family. I give you my word. give 10 gold coins. I'll be finding your real family. Woljif whistles and jingles the coins in palm. Thanks a lot, Chief. May Iomade, or whoever you worship, save you. Otherwise, you'll be done for. You believe anything you hear? If I was a real prince, I wouldn't be sitting around here. I can tell you that much. And I've already gone to take what's rightfully mine. And then I'd come back with an army. So I could watch the guards and merchants who pushed me around all my life bow and scrape before me. That's never gonna happen. Want to hear the real story? The truer story is boring. My family is human, both my father and my mother. They used to live in a village nearby. I forgot the name. When my ma had me, my old man got so mad he almost killed her, pinned her to the wall and started asking questions. Like, why does his son have horns and a tail? Well, my mom told him that her mother, my grandma, used to fool around with a demon. When he heard this, Daddy's dears got drunk, trashed the house, and then took off. I don't remember any of this, of course. My grandma told me. I was about 3 years old when my mother brought me to Canabras and left me with my grandma. She said to her, You and your demon have ruined my whole life, now you handle him. And she left. I haven't seen her or my dad since. She did leave a blanket, though. That part is true. But my grandma burned it because it was infested with lice. It wasn't even good enough to use as a rag. I'm not like Minago. Grandma was a freak for real. What's up, Ungazur? Gran. I think after all that, my grandmother saw the light, felt rightly ashamed and kissed my horns? I wish. Woljif grins nastily, his yellow eyes flashing. People used to give her trouble for fooling around with the demon. She wasn't welcome anywhere, so she got angry. Normal kids get bedtime stories, see, but the only tales I got told were about my dad, how my dad was worthless. My mom was a slut, and I was a demon spawn that no one cared about. She only kept me so I could help around the house and steal things she needed, so that's the truth. Oh my god. Go awaken that one Kaiser. I was actually when he started talking about bare feet. Oh, that was like just like 30 minutes ago or whatever. Tell me the real story of your family. True story is boring. Oh. How do you become a tiefling? Woljif grins. I already was a tiefling, and life made me a thief. I've been in this business since I was a kid. My grandma used to say, if you don't work, you don't eat, and she gave me as an apprentice to Ygr, a tiefling neighbor of ours. He was a cunning old geezer. He knew how to take a purse off somebody's belt, how to cut open the bags undetected, even do some magic. I used to climb through the basement windows and open doors from the inside while I was still small enough. When I grew and stopped fitting through the windows, I decided I was done with my education. I repaid my grandma for everything she'd done for me, which was absolutely nothing. Why would I feed her if she wasn't bringing me any money? If you don't work, you don't eat, so I took off. I got bored of my teacher too, but when I was much as hinted of leaving, he said I owed him for my education, so I just nodded. Then I joined the Owlbears, the gang that ran our district, and told them that Ygr was working in their territory. I don't know what happened to him, but I stayed with the Owlbears. Then their leader started giving me the cold shoulder. I didn't steal from him, but never that much, so I had to rat them out to the guards. Then I joined the Golden Hands. That was a good time. Rich pickings. I would have stayed with the Golden Hands, but the Northmen promised me a bigger cut if I told them where the Golden Hands kept their loot. I'm no fool, of course, so I told them. After that, I only had one option, to join the Northmen, and then the family came. At first, no one took them seriously, calling them tieflings and all that, but I felt it right away. They had the power behind them, and they had more money. I'm always on the winner side, Chief. That's why I joined the tieflings. And right on time, some thugs came from the capital and made the Northmen leave. The ones who survived are in the family now too. Okay, this guy's the least trustworthy person I've ever encountered in my entire life. That's a proper tiefling backstory. They're supposed to be miserable. Tell me about the tieflings. Alright, I won't tell you everything, mine, but I can tell you a little. The tieflings are Mendavian thieves. The gang was started in Mendev's capital, by someone or other, and soon after they spread all over Golarion. They're also called the family. You know why? Because the tieflings are easy to spot. Wherever we go, guards always hassle us asking, "Are you lost or somewhere, Tornhead?" We usually say we're visiting family, and if they say, "Oh yeah, who?" you give them the name of the local tiefling who's confirmed everything, even if he's never seen you before in his life. That's why we're all brothers and sisters. The rules are there are rules. Who does what? Who gets what cut? I won't say it's a lot. But they make it worth your while. They'll even heal you if you take an arrow. But the biggest no-no is this: you don't steal from the family. If you don't contribute to the share pot, you will get the cold shoulder. You won't be treated like family no more. And then everyone will hear that you went to visit some relative who had a farm someplace. My best guess? The farm is in some underground well beneath Canabres where they breed grave worms. If Sister Kiresme, our boss, looked the other way more often, I'd really be able to spread my wings. Stealing from someone you call a sister, that's low. Birds fly low before a storm. I'm just surviving as best I can. Woljif fixes you with a look. Imagine the situation, Chief. You're 7 years old, you come home and your own grandma, your family's lying there drunk, and there's no food because you got wasted in the morning and didn't cook anything. You know what? She has a stash under the third floor. You take this money so you don't starve to death. Then, when she wakes up, she beats you because you shouldn't have taken it. You should have stolen some food. You're a waste of space. That's something you can never understand, Chief. You only care about moral choices. You always know what's right and wrong. brother, sister, grandma, mother. In real life, they're just words. Not to the Kyodai. There's being racist towards orphans. Kiryu is an orphan. What do you think of Canabris? It used to be such a hole. Then the Crusaders and refugees came here, and things started looking up. Well, that depends on who you ask, I suppose. Which is better, Sir Clear Affair? Because Audun and his followers are ferocious, especially Holren Shapuk. The local Inquisitor is a tough old goat. I didn't see it myself, but a serving girl at the tavern told me that her second cousin's son from his third wife is a paladin, and she said that Holren takes an unsheathed sword with him even to the privy, and when he sleeps, he puts it on the pillow next to him. And when he is in his cups, he strokes the blade and whispers sweetly to it. You are my one true friend. You are the only one I can rely on. Erebet Erebet's giving us a hard time too. As much as look at some nice little bauble, and before you can think of it, before your fingers even twitch, she's coming for you, with her nostrils flare and her fangs glinting. Scary woman. But even she's better than Sister Kirisme, our boss here in Canabris. By our, I mean the Tiefling's boss. If you get caught up with Erebeth, it's all out in the open. Go to prison or you end up as worm food. But if you step on Kirisme's toes, poof, you're gone. Just like that. No one ever sees you again. All you hear is, he went to the family farm, even though he's never ever had a family farm. You have some demon blood in you. You feel drawn to the abyss. Woljif's tail whips back and forth nervously. I'll whip my tail back and forth. Are you asking an Inquisitor, or are you an Inquisitor or something? What's it to you? What if I'd chosen to be an Inquisitor? That would have been great. If I've wronged you somehow, just come on and say it. Don't ask me trick questions. I know how it happens. I used to know a fella. He was married to the sister of a guard. Some shady types got him drunk one night and started asking him suspicious questions about the gods, about the queen. He wakes up hungover with a headache. Someone's mumbling something. It smells like smoke. His feet are kind of hot. He looks down and there's a fire under him, and the prelate is reading out his sentence. Your shadow looks strange. What kind of magic is that? Ladies and gentlemen, roll up, roll up. No dark magic, no fraud. A trick without any deception. Woljif snaps his fingers and the blue flame engulfs him. The shadows had previously lying calm. His fate grows, floating in the air behind him. There's a shadow of a huge horned winged demon with claws. Ta-da! It doesn't do anything, it just looks scary. I remember when I was little, an old beggar showed me and my friend how to make shadow puppets. You put your fingers together in front of the light and it makes the shadow of a deer or a dog or a dove. Yeah? Ooh. I tried so hard. I wanted to make the best shadow, and I did. It just happened. Woljif chuckled sadly. Funny enough, that's the last time I had any real friends. They tried to stone me later, screaming at me, calling me a demon. A tiefling is always a demon to these wimps. Even the lowest ranking drunken gnome thinks he's better than me, just because he hasn't got horns or tail. The poorest beggars in the filthiest gutter thinks he's better than me. Most people would never show their shadow again after the first time, but I don't care. If stone starts flying again, I'll just run. I'm used to it by now. Looks formidable. I like it. Woljif chuckles, please. What about the blue fire? That's my favorite part, and it doesn't burn at all. If I had a coin for every time I've caught a beating from my little show here, I'd already be proposing to Galfrey. But still, I don't want to give up something so beautiful. I'll go to Shadow again. Leave the party. Okay, so what's this guy's deal? As the Senate of Demons, tieflings are not the most respected or trusted in Mendev's citizens, to put it mildly. However, a few minutes in conversation with Woljif is enough to see that it isn't prejudice working against this particular tiefling. It is his puddle-deep personality, his membership of one of Mende's biggest thief gangs, and his chronic inability to stick to anything, even his own principles. Woljif sees Kiryu purely as a convenient way to solve a few of his problems, at least for now.